up to the second floor to put the finished floors in. But I think it's time to really deal with some of the issues that have arisen through the constructing of the model. So this, I don't see a reason for this wall, so I'm going to delete it and try to connect these two and see what happens. So up to the modify, over to the fillet. That's better. Okay, so that's one. Then two is I want this wall to go straight. Before I do any modification, I just want to look on the first floor at that location just to see if in fact those walls line up, and it appears that they do. Okay, so I know that this wall is in the right location, and I also know that this wall is in the right location. So let's take a look at that wall and see why it's accomplishing what it is. And it's because the wall down below is this wide, and the wall up above is this wide. And I need to make this wall wider. So if I take a look at the second floor wall 5, okay. Okay, so now I know what the name of that wall is. I'm going to go to the second floor, architecture, wall. I'm actually going to put in a second floor wall 5. See it here, so we'll scroll around for it. Second floor wall 5, and I'm just going to draw it over here. And why can't we create the wall? Second floor wall 5. Well, let's see what it says here. Let's expand it. None of the created elements are visible in the floor plan. Oh, okay. And yet there it is. So what the question is what's the distance from the, actually we can measure right from here. Looks like they line up. So what's the distance from here? What's the distance from here to here? And that's 4 inches. So it shouldn't be 4 inches. It should be 3.5. So 4 or 5.5. So I'm going to measure that again. All right, it is 3.5. The stud is 3.5. The total distance is 4 inches. So I'm going to take this wall and I'm going to edit it, duplicate it, and we'll call it second floor wall 6. And I need to add 4 inches to the thickness right here. So I'll make that 9 inches. Okay, okay. So now that wall is 9 inches thick. I'll come back to my stacked wall and edit the type. I'm going to duplicate it. Brick with wood, stud 5. That's fine. And I'm going to change this second floor wall from 5 to 6. Nope, that's not what I want to do. I'll cancel that and cancel that. And I'll go back in and edit it again. Duplicate it. Okay. And it's always a good idea to use the preview because see these two walls? Those two I'm going to leave alone. I'm going to take this wall so I wanted to modify second floor wall. So by not using my preview, I made an assumption that just wasn't right. Okay, so if this should be second floor wall. So we'll change that. to second floor wall. And then we're going to edit the type, duplicate it, and the second floor wall too. And I'll say, okay. It's a stacked wall. What's going on here? No, it's not. All right. I'm just going to add those 4 inches right here. Okay. So now we'll go back to this wall and we'll edit it. Edit the type, duplicate it, and we'll say brick with wood stud 5. And I'm going to change this to, I believe we call it second floor wall too. Yeah, we did. Now, in the class, we haven't had these, and I've mentioned this several times. We don't have these other 2 stacked walls, other 2 walls here. I'll come back later and change that. But in the class, this is a single wall that goes all the way up to there, and so that's the change that we want to make right now. So I'm going to say okay and okay, and watch what happens. Now those walls line up, and it's showing the gypsum board. Actually, those walls don't line up. What happened there? I've made a very big mistake. So let's undo, and let's go back. I want this wall to be 4 inches wider. Who said that? From here to here is 4 inches. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this wall back, get it out of the way. Okay. And then I will change this to my it's a stacked wall. And brick with wood stud 2. Okay. I'm going to make that guy brick with wood stud 2. Let's edit the type and see what I have there. Well, that is a stacked wall going up 2 levels to cancel. That's not what I want. So let's undo that again. And this wall, I'm just going to duplicate it. It's going to be brick with wood stud 6. Okay. Then I'm going to change this one to my second floor wall 2, I believe is what I want. Yeah, so that looks good. That's what I want to do. It's a 4 inches wider. And this is where it gets crazy for me. Go to the view. I only wanted to make that wall 4 inches thicker. And what did I do? Let's measure it just to see what the distance is. 1 foot 8.5. Okay, so I've put the wrong wall up here. And that's my problem. Okay, so this wall, whoops, undo that. We're just gonna go see what's the name of this wall. Second floor, and so we'll edit that. It should be number 3 right here. That should be the thickness. It's not 1 foot 8.5. It's 2 by 6, which is 5.5, 9.5, 9.5 inches. Okay, so I just made that particular component too wide. Now, if I have the right wall there, it should fix that. There we go. See, that's what we're looking for. So a long, error-ridden tutorial, which I am not going to change. The policy or my philosophy here is I'm creating a model and I'm showing as tutorials the original work. So I'm not going through and doing it and seeing my errors and then coming back and presenting the actual video as just doing it correctly, but I'm actually presenting this with errors in it too, because you might be making similar errors to that at some point in time. And that's what I did, and that's how I fixed it. And you could say, wow, that's what I did. And now I know how to fix it. So I'm going to stop it right there. I just fixed these two walls right there. We'll stop the video here.